What if your evil isn't something you do, but something you ignore? Have you ever questioned if you're a bad person? Not in some philosophical debate, but really, have you ever stared into the abyss of your own soul and wondered where the monster inside you truly comes from? Suddenly, you find two giants already there, locked in an argument over your fate. This isn't just philosophy. This is your diagnosis. A battle raging inside your mind for the right to define your evil and to map a course through your own darkness. In one corner, Friedrich Nietzsche, the man with the furious mustache who took a hammer to Western morality, declared God dead, and dared you to become a god in his place. In the other, Dr. Jordan Peterson, the clinical psychologist who pulls from ancient myths to warn you about the dragon of chaos you carry in your own heart. Both men stared, unflinchingly, into the darkest corners of human life. Our capacity for cruelty, our tangle with suffering, our hunt for meaning in a world that seems to have none. They both saw the abyss. The terrifying part? They came back with completely different maps for you. Nietzsche, the prophet of the overman, saw the values you hold dear as a cage, built by the weak to trap the strong, a sickness you must overcome. Peterson, the champion of personal responsibility, sees those same traditions as the only guardrails keeping you from skidding into chaos, the necessary structure that anchors your life. So, who gives you the better weapon? Is it the philosopher who demands you smash your inherited values, or the psychologist who urges you to rediscover them? This isn't a debate. This is a look into that cracked mirror, forcing you to ask, where does my evil really come from? What am I supposed to do with my suffering? And how do I live as an individual when the world is screaming at me to conform? Listen, we're staging a dialectical showdown, 3 rounds, no truth held back. By the end, you won't just understand Nietzsche and Peterson. You will be forced to understand the part of yourself you refuse to look at. The battle for your soul has already begun. To solve a crime, you must first understand the motive. The crime scene here is your own capacity for evil. Our first clash is over its origin story. First, to Nietzsche's corner. For Nietzsche, what you call evil isn't some cosmic force. It's a psychological invention, a poison brewed in the cauldron of weakness and served to you as morality, a lie served up as the ultimate truth. To get this, you must understand his explosive concept of resentiment. It's more than resentment. It's a deep, festering, impotent bitterness. The weak, oppressed, and powerless can't act, so their will turns inward, gets clever, and ferments into resentment. They look at the strong with a burning, venomous envy, and since they can't be the masters, they decide to condemn them. This is Nietzsche's slave revolt in morality. The weak take everything the master values, pride, ambition, power, and label it evil. Then they take their own qualities, humility, pity, obedience, and praise them as good. Weakness becomes goodness. Power becomes evil. That's Nietzsche's resume. But here's your version. You envy people you secretly admire and call it justice. So for Nietzsche, the real darkness isn't your aggression. The true darkness is resentment. It's the moment your weakness disguised itself as virtue. Nietzsche didn't say you're evil. He said you're scared, and that's worse. Now, to Dr. Peterson's corner. Peterson sees that same darkness not as a clever invention, but as a terrifying archetypal reality lurking in your heart. Drawing from Carl Jung, he calls this your shadow. The shadow is everything you repress, your hidden impulses, your capacity for arrogance, aggression, and pure malevolence. It is the monster inside you. And Peterson's warning is this: to be a truly good person, you must first accept that you are a monster. Why? Because if you remain harmless, you're not moral. You're just weak. Weakness is not a virtue. It makes you a target. Worse, it makes you vulnerable to ideologies that will happily weaponize your unacknowledged darkness for their own terrible ends. Peterson forces you to look at the 20th century, at Auschwitz, at the gulags. Who did those things? Ordinary people who thought they were good. People who had never confronted their own shadow. They didn't know they could be monsters, so when the time came, that's exactly what they became. And that monster? It's you. It's the part of you that fantasizes about revenge. The part that knows exactly what to say to cause the most pain. You think you're moral, or just scared of being monstrous. For Peterson, evil is not a label. It's an inherent potential within you. The most dangerous person isn't the one who knows they're a monster and keeps it on a leash. It's the one who pretends they're not a monster at all. The contrast is stark. Is my evil a story I tell myself to feel powerful? Or is it the most real, most dangerous truth of who I am? Maybe you don't fear evil. Maybe you fear discovering how close it lives to you. If they agree on one thing, it's that life is suffering. But what do you do about it? Their prescriptions are two of the most challenging paths offered to your soul. Back to Nietzsche. His starting point, God is dead, not a celebration, a diagnosis. He saw we had pulled the rug out from under our own feet, leaving you to stare at your own reflection in a cold, meaningless universe. This, Nietzsche warned, would unleash the living death of nihilism, the terrifying belief that nothing matters. This is the ultimate abyss. So what is his antidote? The only way out is through. You must become a god yourself. You must become the creator of new values. This is the work of the Übermensch, the Overman, the person who sees the meaninglessness of the universe and doesn't despair, but embraces it as the ultimate freedom. And how do you handle suffering? You don't just tolerate it. You love it. This is amor fati, the love of your fate. My formula for greatness, Nietzsche wrote, is that one wants nothing to be different, not merely bear what is necessary, but love it. Suffering isn't something to avoid. It's the fire that forges a great soul. To wish away your pain is to wish away the very thing that made you who you are. The Overman looks at his entire life with all its horror and beauty and screams, "Yes!" again. This isn't positive thinking. It is savage acceptance. Now, let's hear the prescription from Dr. Peterson. Peterson stares into that same abyss and recoils. He asks, who the hell are you to think you can just invent a new morality? How do you know your values won't just be a rationalization for your own shadow? For Peterson, abandoning tradition isn't courage, it's a recipe for chaos. His antidote is not to become a god, but to become a better human being. The solution is not creation, it is responsibility. His famous mantra, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. So what does this have to do with you? Meaning isn't some grand invention. It's found in the voluntary choice to confront the suffering right in front of you. You discover it. You don't invent it. By shouldering your load, by telling the truth, by pursuing what is meaningful, not what is expedient. It's in cleaning that messy room. It's in having that conversation you've been dreading. It is in the responsibility you have been running from. Is meaning something you are strong enough to create from nothing? Or is it a truth you discover only by bearing the heaviest burden you can find? Let's take a breath. We're in deep water. The origin of your evil, the cure for your suffering. If this is challenging you, then hit that subscribe button. It's a signal that these conversations matter. It's your small way of shouldering responsibility for the ideas that spread in our world. Now, back to the fight. Final round. What is your relationship to the group? Social media mobs, political polarization, corporate culture. Both thinkers saw this as a source of darkness. But their visions for how you resist are profoundly different. Let's start with Nietzsche. No philosopher had more contempt for the herd. For Nietzsche, the collective is the great engine of mediocrity. It wants to domesticate you, to tame you, to level you. Its morality is designed to make everyone a smaller, almost ridiculous type, a herd animal, something eager to please, sickly and mediocre. The herd fears you when you are exceptional. It sees you as a threat, as evil, and tries to bring you down. The group doesn't want you to be strong, but wants you to be predictable. He warned of the last man, the ultimate product of this morality, The last man seeks only comfort. He takes no risks. He has no great love, no great ambition. He just blinks. We have invented happiness, say the last men, and they blink. For Nietzsche, this was your spiritual death. His solution? Radical individualism. Break away. Have the courage to be alone, to be misunderstood, to dance on the chains of conformity. Now, over to Dr. Peterson. Peterson shares Nietzsche's suspicion, but he diagnoses the problem differently. Wherein Nietzsche sees a herd, Peterson sees the danger of ideological possession. An ideology, for Peterson, is a simple distorted map of a complex world. It takes one idea and blows it up into a total explanation for everything. It relieves you of the burden of actual thought. Think of that label you wear so proudly. Does it think for you? Does it tell you who your enemies are? The moment an idea saves you the burden of individual thought, you are no longer free. You are possessed. But here is the crucial difference. Peterson's solution isn't for you to create your own values from scratch. It's for you to ground yourself in the wisdom embedded in our great myths and religious traditions. For Peterson, these traditions aren't tools of the herd. They are the accumulated wisdom of our ancestors. You don't blindly accept them, but you don't arrogantly dismiss them. You wrestle with them. The Petersonian hero stands up straight with his shoulders back as a testament to his ability to bear the weight of being. Is tradition the cage you must escape to be free? Or is it the only foundation that can keep you from being possessed? We've been through 3 rounds, so who wins? There is no winner here. There is only that reflection staring back at you. Declaring a victor is an escape. The real point is what you saw in that reflection. Nietzsche is the master diagnostician. He hands you a hammer to shatter the prison of your own morality. He shows you that your goodness might just be weakness in disguise. His critique is an earthquake, but his prescription, the overman, can feel impossibly out of reach. What does it actually mean for you to create your own values? That's where Peterson, the master clinician, steps in. He takes the threat of nihilism and makes it personal. His advice is concrete. Take responsibility, tell the truth, confront suffering. He offers you a ladder out of the abyss. But critics would say he flees from Nietzsche's radical cure, retreating back into the very traditions Nietzsche declared dead. So perhaps the answer is this. Nietzsche may have stared deeper into the abyss of our culture, giving you the hammer to shatter your prison. But Jordan Peterson has stared more directly at the abyss inside of you and offered a more pragmatic map back to solid ground. He hands you a blueprint to build something from the rubble. Maybe you need both. Nietzsche's earthquake to wake you up, and Peterson's guidance to help you rebuild. One dares you to face the terror of absolute freedom. The other challenges you to bear the crushing weight of absolute responsibility. One path is a lonely death into godhood. The other, a life of crushing purpose. Both demand a sacrifice. The clock is ticking. You won't regret being wrong about Nietzsche or Peterson, but you will regret never daring to become who you could be. So what now? The verdict is yours. Not in the comments, but in how you choose to live, starting now. Who has a better handle on your dark side? The philosopher who saw evil as an invention, or the psychologist who sees it as a monster within? Is your way forward through radical self-creation or profound personal responsibility? Let us know in the comments which voice echoes louder inside of you. And if you've made it this far, thank you for staring into the abyss with us.